Hi. It's 2 days in a row that I'm making a video, which is crazy. Look at the light. I'm glowing. I'm also sweaty, so I'm glowing that way too. I just got off work. I worked really late last night, like way too late. Our group home is about to be licensed by the state, where they come in every few years and just check everything and getting everything, you know, as done and up to date with paperwork and things as we can as a team, because we didn't have a manager for quite some time, and there's 5 folks that live there, and it's they have a lot of medical stuff, so it's a very busy house for a lot of paperworky things to make sure are all accounted for and accurate and perfect. And it's astounding how busy I've been and how I feel like I've been so behind, and I'm just trying to get certain things done before they come. And I don't know, I had some weird feeling that it was going to be today, so I literally stayed up way too late working on odds and ends and at home. But well, I worked all day, and then I went to the hospital, and then to visit the young lady. I can't take that back because I'm not redoing this video. So the young person that we support, and then went home, and then worked on just like paper stuff that I had to organize and make sense of, my notes and things, preparing my schedule for today, just all kinds of things. And started really early, had meetings, worked at my group home, and now I am visiting this little person that's in the hospital. They're doing better. I'm really thankful. And then I have to do some more stuff after work related. Brad, my friend, who a lot of you know from the FND groups on Facebook, had scolded me a bit today, saying, "Hey, are you joking about being up at midnight?" on Facebook. He's like, "Are you joking?" Sorry about that. My hand was starting to spasm. Because being up at midnight is like running with scissors to people like us. I thought, oh, that's pretty darn funny and true. And yes, I was up too late, and then it just made today way harder, way more symptomatic. My face had tons of facial spasms all the way to work. But you know, my nervous system, you know, think of it this way, like I try to do deep breathing as soon as I can to help re-regulate the dysregulation of the nervous system there. That was the weirdest thing. I just got the tiniest little like twitch in my abdomen, and it was like, I feel like if I get a twitch, it's almost like I'm not even trying to say words that start with that sound. It's like ping pong. It's like, or no, not ping pong. What is that? I said that wrong last time I was talking about this to Joe. What is that game? What is that game? It's got the buttons on the side and the thing, the ball. Oh my god. Pinball! Ha! I keep looking the wrong way because I usually hold the phone the other way, but this is a new way I need to learn. So, hi, over there. Pinball. Like, anyways, it just goes ping, 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 and that's what just happened. But I guess I was saying about the nervous system, what I was trying to say is that even a normal healthy nervous system is able to sense dangerous situations, you know, and plan accordingly or try to avoid danger and things like that. Not even on our conscious level, but you know, just the nervous system and the brain perceiving threats on their own. And so I think that's why I could be totally wrong. I need like a sticker. Look here. But I think that the reason I don't have crazy things that stop me from driving is because when I'm driving, I don't have that. I'll get stuff like this, like facial stuff, when my eyebrows will go, but it's like, that was the first time my facial movement started, is when I was driving and I saw an ambulance and it was like, oh God, look away, the lights, you know? But I couldn't look away, it triggered me, but my body didn't do anything. I kept driving and my face just started to scrunch up like this. I don't really want to do it right now because I don't want to practice the wrong pathway. I want to practice proper speech and proper facial movements when I want to move my face, not when it wants to. So I also love the neurosymptoms.org website, which Sarah posted on Facebook. You guys can add me on Facebook. But it's just my name, Larissa Anderson. But you can do your best from this website to get as much information as you can. But it talks about not letting your symptoms be like, don't let them keep going, you know? Try to stop them, in the sense, I get that we get in states where you can't stop it. But like, when it's not like myoclonic and constant, but like for me it's like trigger response and then it's done. Like sometimes I'll get like stuck on a loop and I'll keep having the same movement and it's really intense. Or I get stuck in a dystonia and I'm like, can't move, can't barely breathe, my face is turning red. Trying to break it by doing something different helps, like, you choose that other pathway. I'm sure I talked about this recently, I mean 5 months ago recently, but just like if you think of a field and the more that you trodden down a path, that's going to be the easier thing to take. And so the more that we can help our brains take that, keep taking those healthy pathways, healthy, that's, you know, movements, then that hopefully will be the pathway that our brain will take more likely. But if we allow for the dysfunction to keep practicing it, then that's going to become more of the trodden down path that your brain's going to want to take. So for instance, like if I start to have this, this isn't real, but if I start to have the same movement, ideally what you would do is like, you would do it after. You'd be like, no, okay. You do the same motion that it was just doing over the top of it to be like, look brain, if I want to make this weird movement, I'm gonna do it. You don't get to say when you do it. See that? So like, if your face starts to scrunch, ideally right afterwards you would go scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Hey brain, look, I say scrunch, not when you feel like it. Doesn't always work that way. One thing I also try is like, if I'm starting to feel like vibratey and kind of bobbly and like my whole body's starting to shake, sometimes I can't help it, but if I can, I'll try to think about just sitting on my skeleton. I think that's like a Tai Chi type thing. But that you would like sit on your skeleton and like imagine letting go of all of your muscles and just resting on that frame. Because we can get, we can kind of brace ourselves to bear the pain, the insert horrific thing you would deal with. But whatever it is, you can start to tense up, brace yourself for it, and that tension can build, and then that can set. I swear to you that when I was really bad and I was like this all the time, pretty much nonstop for like 4 months, I'm trying to remember where I was going. When I was like that all the time, I would try to remember the tension thing, and if I would let go of things, like if I do that and now it's almost like letting the tension go too much, and then it will like do really weird shit. So looking in the wrong spot this whole video. But if you hold the tension too tight, then I feel like then it gets more shaky. Like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. To tie this all back together, when I'm driving, I don't usually get triggered for the most part. I did this morning because I ended up being cold, and cold is a really big trigger for me, and so I started what I would normally start to shake, my whole body would shake, and I would probably have dystonia, and I'd start to it's almost like my diaphragm is having involuntary movements, and my neck will spasm, and it's like kryptonite. But none of that happened while I was driving. I just got the weird face stuff because I feel, and same with that ambulance situation. That was what, God, I'm all over. But that ambulance situation was where the first time my facial movements happened, I saw the ambulance, but that whole perceived threat thing, it's not safe to act a fool right now. We're driving a 2,000-pound vehicle. Do they still weigh 2,000 pounds? I don't know. But that's when all of a sudden my nose started twitching and my face started scrunching. It was like, and then I was starting to say I don't want to really do it because I don't want to practice bad pathways, and that's where I went. Okay, so my face would go, and then it would get worse, and it would build, like, and I'd have to like, ugh, and then it would go again, like that, and it never fucking went. Sorry, YouTube. It never went away. And it's not like I have it all the time, but it is a pathway that my situation, my FND decided, hey, that's a viable option. Let's use that when we feel like being, you know, hooligans and not following what we're supposed to be following. So yeah, practicing good pathways. I even try, if I get stuck on a word stuttering, sometimes it starts stuttering and you can't stop that, and you're not even trying to say words and you're still like stuck in it. But other times I try to change to a different word, and you guys have heard this a gazillion times, those of you that have followed from the get-go. I'm just trying to tie everything together and then kind of say goodbye. I need to get like an editing software. YouTube used to let you edit on their website right before you uploaded, and then they got rid of that, but then I've never really looked again if they still have it. And now I just try to make one video without clips that I have to put together or anything like that, and it is what it is. And that doesn't work for the track wheelchair video I'm trying to put together. So, and I kind of might want to even talk at the end of that and compilate, you know, make a compilation of these little clips. So I'm still working on that. I just need to buy or download a software. I just haven't had time to look into it. So if you guys know of anything like that, let me know. I don't make money off this stuff, so I don't really want to spend a lot of money. And this is the only thing I would use it for. And obviously not terribly consistent. So, anyways, I'm heading into my weekend. I worked way too late last night, and I'm gonna do that again today. I'm looking forward to resting. I'm gonna paint my nails, I hope. And there really was one other thing I wanted to say, but we're at 15 minutes. That's a lot of me time. Okay, so one thing that prompted me to even make a video was that somebody had mentioned to me about feeling kind of bad because, or guilty for not working or doing what I'm doing. And I just thought, gosh, that makes me feel horrible, because that's not ever my intention. I'm not here trying to flaunt, like, look at me guys while I'm driving in my car, like, and you guys can't, or I'm working and you're not, and you should be, and step it up. And it's not like that at all. And I just want to say, don't compare. We can't compare ourselves to each other. We can't even compare ourselves to ourselves, because we go through phases. And so, like, what's happening right now might not be what's happening in 6 months or in 3 months or in a year. You know, this I'm coming up on 4 years. You have different seasons, and so, like, you can't be like, well, last season I was able to do this and now this is this way, or, you know, is next season ever going to be better than this? Like, we really do have to have hope and a positive attitude, and it's not always easy, and I'm sure that we can, in our own situations, can attest to times where it's extraordinarily difficult to be positive. But we just don't know what the future holds, and so it's just not even practical to be like foreshadowing how the next quarter of your life is going to be. I don't mean quarter of your life like I mean quarter of your year. Like, I just try to think of things in like little stints, you know, like, okay, so for right now I'm watching my legs stay the way they should. Like, that's a little concerning for me right now. I want to keep my job. A lot of bad things and hard things have been happening around me, and it's upsetting. But that doesn't mean that the next season is going to be wobbly-legged and sadness. It could, you know, I could take a turn and have my symptoms come back really hardcore. Then I'll fight back then, you know. Or I could be like Lenny and be like, I'm in remission, but she says it's so much cuter because she's Australian and adorable. So we just don't know, and I think that we need to take that out of the equation in our happiness of what tomorrow holds, or, you know, whatever. But don't take it as a sentence, because it doesn't have to stay the way that it is, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it will. And if it stays that way for a while, that doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. I don't know. This is pushing it. Anyways, don't compare ourselves to each other. Let's not be hard on ourselves or each other. And for everybody, no matter what season you're in life, for whatever you're going through, nothing stays the same. Everything's changing all the time. And that is refreshing, right? This can't stay exactly the same. Stuff will give, stuff will change, stuff will move, stuff will evolve, and maybe come around again. But if we take that out of the equation, I think we can be a little bit more positive and a little bit more happy and hopeful. So, thanks for putting up with me. If you want to, you can say nice things to each other down below. And when I say that, I'm not trying to be like all the other YouTubers. I don't get anything from you liking my videos or commenting. It makes me feel like, yay, this wasn't a waste of my time and your time. But I really like to hear from you guys and I do my best to try to answer quickly. So, okay. Hope there was something in there for you. Talk to you later.